Stakes. Rock Your World did not come out all that well again today. Hot Rod Charlie sent to the front, and Rock Your World will go up on the outside with Japan's Firenze Fire there too. So these three lead them into the turn. The Preakness winner, Rombauer. Essential Quality is fifth in behind them, moving for that turn. The Known Agenda, a wide overtook, and Bourbonic at the rear of the field. Hot Rod Charlie on top to a 22.78 opening quarter mile. That is a very, very fast first fraction. On the outside is Rock Your World, who's up running in second. Firenze is 2 lengths off of them in third. Bourbonic fourth at this stage as they enter the backstretch at Big Sandy. And then it's Essential Quality to the outside, who's about 7 lengths behind at this stage. Bourbonic, Known Agenda, and Overtook together at the back of the pack. Hot Rod Charlie taken on by Rock Your World through a 46.49 half mile. These two go stride for stride. Firenze sits just off of them. Running third by another 3.5 lengths ahead of the Preakness winner, Rombauer, and the favorite Essential Quality on the outside. Then it's Bourbonic, Known Agenda, and between those two Overtook. 7 lengths from top to bottom. Hot Rod Charlie has run 3/4 in 1:12.07 seconds. His lead is a half a length. Rock Your World is second. Firenze third to their outside. Essential Quality is getting closer now. He is caught 4 wide as they make their move into the far turn. Rombauer rides the rail. He's 3 lengths behind. Known Agenda, Bourbonic, and Overtook around the far turn. Hot Rod Charlie with a half mile to go. Rock Your World's alongside. Essential Quality comes up to them 3 wide. The 3 of them across the track. Known Agenda has picked up his stride. He's on the move now with 3 lengths to make up. And Rombauer is to his inside. They're coming to the top of the stretch. And Essential Quality makes his move on the outside of Hot Rod Charlie. Rock Your World has dropped back. Then Rombauer to the outside, and Known Agenda, and they're into the stretch. And it's Essential Quality and a stubborn Hot Rod Charlie. And the two of them putting on a match race with a furlong to run. Essential Quality on the outside. Hot Rod Charlie won't go away. Essential Quality, too good. Essential Quality has won the Belmont Stakes. Hot Rod Charlie was second. It was a long way back to Bourbonic. And then came Known Agenda. The final time, 2:27.11.
From Future Stars Friday to winning the Test of the Champion on Belmont Stakes Saturday. Your 2-year-old champ, your Breeders' Cup TVG Juvenile champ, Essential Quality gets that classic score. And what a scintillating performance that was. We also had some Breeders' Cup win and you're in action on that Belmont Stakes card with Silver State winning the Hillendale Metropolitan Handicap, the Met Mile. That is a win and you're in for the big ass fans dirt mile. And then we had Letruska winning the Ogden Phipps Handicap. That is a win and you're in for the Longines Distaff. And I am blessed to have her rider joining me right now, Jose Ortiz. Jose, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, I mean, this whole weekend was crazy for you, undoubtedly, especially considering what had happened with your brother, Arad, going into the weekend. He had that spill where his horse just stumbled, and this was on the 3rd, I believe, and thank God he escaped any serious injury. I don't know if our viewers out there saw the footage that they had with Richard Migliori. He showed the helmet and just the impression of that. And it really puts an exclamation point on how dangerous it is being up there, because you're really, I mean, you have to hope that you and the horse have that connection, that every step is a sure step. Can you go over the weekend for us? I mean, how was it from your perspective, being his brother?
A little while, never want to see your brother go down, and especially if he go down that way, he stayed down, and of course we were worried about him. But as soon as I saw him and I see him, he told me he was good. It was just a little dizzy, he got hit on the head, and he had a good cut on the side of his arm right here, where he got 4 stitches, and he was bleeding a little bit on the head and the back. He got 6 stitches back there. But that was Thursday. Today is Tuesday, and he feel a lot better.
Thank God.
Yeah.
there was a really poignant video that was taken. Let's see if I can share this here, where they somebody had actually seen you run out onto the track to go check on your brother. And let me see if I've got it up here. So there's the actual tweet where Chad Brown was quoting it, and it was really actually very very, again, poignant tweet. He said, as a proud parent myself, I can tell you this: the Ortiz brothers are who you pray your children turn out to be. The definition of class, kindness, loyalty, work ethic, generosity, humbleness, etc. Prayers up for Arad Ortiz. And I mean, just watching this video, if it'll play here, I'll see, of you running up the track to go check on your brother. I mean, I can only imagine the thoughts running through your mind at that time.
Oh yeah, I was worried about him. I was one of the guy that was behind him, and I hear something when Junior went by him. I hear that he hit him, and then my horse
Oh.
somehow my horse jumped him. So I mean, I was worried.
Yeah.
And as you see, he's still down right there, and I mean, it was a bad moment for all of us. Junior was very worried because
Yeah.
he knew he hit him, and he was very worried, and you know, as we all were.
Of course. Yeah, and there was video of Junior running up the track to go check on him as well. It's really, I mean, obviously you're his genetic brother, but there's a brotherhood that goes beyond just the genetics when you are working in a colony like that, right?
Yeah, we all know it's a extremely dangerous job,
Yeah.
and I mean, we all worry about each other. At the end of the day, we are very competitive, but at the end of the day, we spend a lot of time together, and we respect each other. I respect everybody there, and every time somebody goes down, it's extremely sad for all of us.
Of course. And to bring in a little levity to the show, Brad Weisbord is already giving you some grief. He's saying, why couldn't you wear an elite hat on air?
I need more hats. The one I have is old.
Well, there you go, Brad. You got to hook him up with some more swag. Get with it. So we're talking about Belmont weekend, and this is a race actually in particular that you've already won. You won it back in 2017 with the horse that is just above your head there, Taprit, another son of Tapit, because that's kind of fun. I mean, Tapit is now represented by 4 Belmont Stakes winners. First Tonalist, then he had Creator in 2016, Taprit 2017, now Essential Quality. And the other fun fact for you all out there who are petty geeks like I am, even though the race was shortened up, the Belmont last year, due to the rescheduling of the races with COVID, we saw Tis the Law, a son of Constitution, who's a son of Tapit, win the Belmont Stakes last year. But you know, also in addition to having won the race with Taprit, you've had success with getting in the money. Second with Tacitus in 2019, second with Gronkowski in 2018. What does it take to ride that race? It's a mile and a half. You're going across Big Sandy. Timing is everything in a race like that.
Yeah, it's a very weird race because even the guys that ride in Belmont regularly, like us, we don't ride mile and a half, never, other than the Brooklyn, which is the same day as the Belmont. And I mean, yeah, like you say, timing is everything, but at least we know the big sweeping turns in Belmont. We know where you gotta move, and that's an advantage. But at the end of the day, I think you gotta have the horse that is gonna get the mile and a half.
Yeah. Well, one of the interesting things is it really does seem now that it's we've had many horses over the past few years win it either on the lead or close to it. A lot of people think, oh, a mile and a half set up for a deep closer, but that definitely hasn't proven to be the case with the Belmont necessarily. Now, you were on No Agenda in this year's edition. You were picking up that mount with a rod out. What were your expectations with the horse? How do you think he ultimately performed? It wasn't bad. I mean, he did still get up for 4th.
Yeah, I think he run a good race, but I was expecting a little bit more of a run on the last quarter of a mile. You know, he take a while to get going. You can see from the half a mile and already riding him hard. But he never picked up like I wanted to. He just stayed. He just stayed the same pace, same pace. I wish he would give me a little kick. But I mean, the
Yeah.
two winners, they were much the best, and probably with a good kick, I would have been third anyway. But
I
a
hear you.
good race.
Well, what did you make of it as a fan? Are you able to enjoy these races also as a fan in retrospect?
Well, yeah, I'm a big fan of the sport. I thought Hot Rod Charlie was gonna be a tough customer, but Essential Quality took him down. I like Hot Rod Charlie going into the race because I wasn't supposed to ride the race,
Right.
so I picked up. I like Hot Rod Charlie, and then I pick up No Agenda. But I also like No Agenda. I knew Ira was working him, and he was working really good. So I was very excited to get them out.
Well, let's also take it back because well, first of all, you went into the weekend with a tremendous win on Firenze Fire in the True North. I mean, that horse is just, I mean, the class with which he has, presented himself on track. I mean, 33 career starts, 14 wins. He's won over, well, actually just shy of $2.5 million. How did you feel, winning the True North with a horse of this caliber?
I feel great. Well, what a horse!
Yeah, I know, right? Silly question.
Yeah, 30 plus stars, and I mean, I don't know how many times he has won, but he's just really classy. Everything I asked for, he did, and I mean, what else I can say? He's just a really cool horse. I wish we have more horses like him around. You know, he's a tough horse.
So here's the replay of the race. And I always ask jockeys this because even though I have an equestrian background, just the idea of being in a gate and the anticipation of waiting for those doors to open. You've got horses all around you, the feet, stepping up and down in place, the muscles tensing, your fingers wrapping around the reins and the mane. What's it like for you before those doors pop open?
Just very relaxed. Try to keep my horse.
Really?
Try to keep my horse calm inside the gate. I think they can feel everything, and just making sure my horse is standing the right way so I can have a clean break. I think that's the
Yeah,
key.
how important that is. Make sure that they're ready to break with alacrity. As so often we see horses, unfortunately, they come out on their toes or flat-footed or a hop step out, and it can cost them.
Yeah, it cost them the race, cost them position, and position sometimes is everything.
Yeah. So Firenze Fire got you energized for the weekend, I'm sure ahead. And then you kicked off Belmont Stakes Day with a very exciting first-time starter. He was coming in as no secret. The horse had sold for $575,000, I believe, as a yearling, a half-brother to a fan favorite horse named Barkley, but also by a freshman sire who I am super excited about. I've been looking forward to seeing his progeny debut, and I'm talking about Practical Joke, who stands at Coolmore Ashford stud. And the fun thing about the connection that relates to you is you actually won the Hopeful Stakes back in 2016 aboard Practical Joke. I actually have the replay here. So we can check that out. Your brother rode him on debut, but you got the mount for the Hopeful. And make sure I'm sharing my screen. There it is. And just a really beautiful horse who, again, just showed a ton of talent from early on.
Yeah. Ira Classic Empire. He bolted right there. Classic Empire.
The rider at the start was Classic Empire, who appeared to wheel just after the start.
Who also stands at Coolmore Ashford, so that's fun.
So the field's I'll
turn down the volume just a little bit more so we can get your insight on this horse. Did you see anything similar from son to his father here?
Well, his father was more tactical. His son was is a little bit more heavy. Took him a while to get going. I think the 5.5 was too short for him. But I mean, you can see when he went to the clear, he exploded. He's such a really nice colt.
Well, that's the thing because, and I have that replay too. I'll show that next here. I thought it was really tremendous that he was able to overcome a slow start from the blocks.
Yeah.
And he was pretty professional in that he was content to sit back because he had lost position at that point. And then he just came rolling, as you said, into, it was just a very impressive victory. Let's see here. So there's Dad, practical joke.
Yeah. Cool.
Under Jose Ortiz. Oh, see, he's getting his love pats there. Awesome. And as we know, he also picked up he picked up the champagne after that, and he went on to win the H. Allen Jerkin. So grade 1 winner, going in from 2 to 3. And so now here is the son. Let's see, I'll share my screen here after get out of that one. So this is WIT, and a very clever name. And the other thing that's cool, I should say, about Practical Joke, and another reason why I feel pretty justified in the fact that I thought he's a freshman sire to watch, is he's had 3 horses to run so far, 3 babies. He's got 2 winners, and the horse that didn't win, he was second. So not too shabby out of the blocks for him. Let's see here. I'm looking for the replay share. Here we go. And so now here's WIT. He's the 4 horse, everybody. So just take note of him and take note of how he doesn't get away too cleanly. But remember, this is his very first race. And then just watch how wonderfully he overcomes that to then come on late to score.
Yeah, I was ready for it because I had working the week before, and he told me he broke a step slow out of there to be ready, but I think it just too short for him. Probably he just want to go longer.
Well, that's the exciting thing, though, when you do have a horse like this, just the possibilities. Have you heard? Are they going to try to go? I would imagine you go into your non-winners of one other than next, and then after that, there been any conversation about what basic road that they want to take into stakes competition?
I have no idea. I just picked up the horse. I think Ida's gonna ride him back, but I just thought we'll decide with Mike where they want to go with him. But he's good enough to go to a stake. I guess probably Saratoga opening week, opening day. I think probably they have a 2-year-old, maybe.
I mean, just look at what did that stride feel like? It looks so big and open.
It was just floating. He was just floating in the track. I love him. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Super impressive. And Todd, trained by Todd Pletcher, and he had another real nice horse in there with Johnny V aboard, getting up for second. And I know that for you and your brother, he has just become a mentor to you. Can you talk about that? I know you've talked about it a lot, but just the mentorship and what Johnny Velasquez means to you guys.
Johnny is it's an idol that we grew up watching him and knowing for a long time now, but he helped us from the beginning, in the track, outside the track, financially, everything. So I'm very thankful for him because not only he teach me a lot on the track, but he teach me a lot off the track, and he basically set me up from the beginning. And I'm doing the right thing in life, and he's just a role model. You wanna be like him on the track, but especially off the track. I think he's a great person, a great family man, and that's what it matters at the end of the day. If you can match him or what he has done on the track, at least try to matching what he done off the track, which is the important thing, I think.
What do you think it is? I've asked other top question, but what do you think it is that separates a capable rider from a great one? Because one of the things I've seen is the top jockeys all seem to have some formal training in their background. I know you and your brother went to jockey school in Puerto Rico, right?
Yep.
Oh, I don't. Okay, I didn't know if the screen had froze. I hear your audio. Your screen's froze right now, but I hear you perfect. And so I feel either that or they've just grown up with it from day one. And there's just something that you guys all have where you have this connection to the horse. You've got the light hands. You've got the great balance. But what do you think is the most important fundamental thing you have to have if you ever hope to achieve riding at grade 1 level?
I think the work ethic, it has a lot to do with it, because if you want to learn, you just keep learning and keep learning, but you also have to have the opportunities to get there and the opportunity to learn more every single day. And I think that's my case. I got good opportunities in day one, and I have messed up, yeah, but you gotta messed up to learn.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think you could win a race, a big race, you got beat by half a lane, by a nose. So you gotta learn from it. But the important thing is to be able to keep getting those opportunities and be able to keep learning from your mistakes. Um, I think what is different a good jockey from an average one is that the good jockey doesn't make the same mistake twice.
Okay. What do you think's the key thing that you've personally felt that you had to work on most?
When I got uh, to a certain level that I was riding for great outfits, I thought I needed to improve my turf game a lot. But I have Ira, which is the best rider, one of the best. I think it's top three in the country, maybe number one on the grass. And he gave me a lot of tips. He teach me a lot. And I keep learning from him a lot. And I'm blessed to have him in my life as a mentor too, but as a brother also. So, but yeah, he keep teaching me every day, and he barely made mistakes, and it's very cool to watch him, and it's cool to watch what he's doing right now.
Well, it's interesting that you should say the turf because you are a 3-time Breeders' Cup champion rider. You won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf back in 2019 aboard Structor. Previous to that, back in 2016, you won it with Oscar Performance. And the year later, though, you won aboard Good Magic, who went on to be our champion 2-year-old and runner-up in the Kentucky Derby in the juvenile itself on dirt. So you've had that success, but what is it about grass riding that's a little bit different from dirt for people who, are more laymen, obviously?
Well, you have to keep think more calm. You gotta be more patient, but also you have to position yourself in a great spot to win the race, and be able to recognize the pace of the race.
Yeah.
So I think you gotta be on a great position most of the time to win the race. Safe ground. It's a lot of stuff. I think in the grass you can get beat more easy with the best horse than on the dirt. In the dirt you can make mistakes during the race and still win the race with the best horse. On the grass, eh, you
Less
got,
room for error.
yeah, less room. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How much handicapping do you do ahead of a race card?
Just depends. On a big car like Belmont, day before, 2 days before. In a regular day, I ride so many horses that I just watch him. I just look at the program the night before. Just the night before, and then during the day of the race, I know what I read last night, so I just look, but I know what I'm doing. Just get adjust with the scratches and stuff.
Well, as you're talking about with turf racing, you're right that the dynamic is so different because often it's really everybody, like you said, they're waiting and they're poised to pick their spots to then power on home and stretch. A lot of times we do see in the dirt, it's like speed. You hopefully will get you and get the job done itself. You know, you had a lot of success just this weekend, and talking about just one of the dirt horses that actually, took down a favorite here, drained the clock. And because you were up against a horse like Jackie's Warrior in this race. What is it like willing a horse to go on by a horse of that caliber?
I think it was a great match. It was a great race.
Yeah, I got it right here. I'm pulling it up in the Woody Stevens.
Yeah, I wanted to break good and go out a little bit and make sure I have it on my inside. And I was the one putting pressure on him instead of him putting pressure on me. You can see right there, I got 2 or 3 lengths on him, but I went outside. So
Yes.
if he won the league, gonna have to rush up right here, and it's 7 furlongs. I think it's gonna hurt him the last 8 of a mile, and he did. I think the plan worked out great.
That is sneaky, Jose. We look at it all the time from a handicapper's perspective about a horse breaking sharp means, okay, good, they're feeling good that day. But you actually did that with total purpose. It wasn't just a matter of, okay, the horse broke fast. Now you're like getting him to relax. You went with purpose to get him, to entice him into that pocket, you're saying, to go.
Yeah, that was the. I talked with the trainer and the owner, and they told me, yeah, hopefully, if he won the league, hopefully he rush up inside. We don't want him on the outside. So that's what I did. I make sure I break better than
Just
him,
get him out.
and then let him in. And I guess it was gonna be
Nice.
best horse from the apple to the wire, I guess.
And here you go. I mean, right now it looks like, are you going to get to him?
And the horse is very game. That drawing the clock is such a cool horse. And Safi is doing an amazing job. The horse was ready to win, and he fired.
Yeah.
The horse is gutsy. Yeah, I like him.
Wow. Did you think you were going to get there? Was there a moment where you're like, oh gosh, come on, horse, and you thought, gosh, I'm not making up the ground, or were you confident the whole way in that stretch? I'm going to get to him. It's just a matter of time.
No, passing the quarter pole, I was. I mean, I knew that I had a shot, but Jackie Warrior kept a good pace in front of me, so it wasn't like I had him easy. I had to work for it. But my horse quit. Every time I asked him, he was there for me. Until I hit him left-handed. When I hit him left-handed, it was like he hit another gear, and that's when I say, man, I got him now. He got a little bit because he rushed up in the inside. It take a super horse to make that move and win. So
yeah,
I thought he was gonna come back to me a little bit, and I'm glad he did.
Well, this was a fun little video that I saw you share on your timeline of the connections rooting you on. Let's see here if I can pull that up. I thought this was so funny. Let's see if I can. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, I mean, what's your reaction?
It's so cool. I'm so happy for them. That's the groom and the assistant trainers. Those people put the work in for day in and day out. I'm just happy for them. They get to enjoy it, and I think that's horse racing. You gotta enjoy when you win. You don't win a great one every day, so enjoy it because you don't know when you're gonna win another one.
No, yeah, definitely. And what is it like though? I know I know when you're actually on the horse out there on the track, the roar of the crowd is just this muffled din, a cacophony of sound. But are there times when you can make out your name being called?
No, I can't hear it. No.
Well, what about when you come into the winner's circle? Can you make out somebody thanking you for getting their ticket home?
Yeah, no, yeah, in the winner, going to the winner circle, yeah, but no, like when you're going by the wire, it's very hard to hear.
Yeah.
It's just noisy, especially a day like that. It's very noisy. Yeah.
When how often, if at all, do you go back to Puerto Rico? I would have to think that you and your brother I mean, you guys are stars here. I would have to assume you guys are mega stars when you go back.
Yeah, yeah. But I haven't been back there in a while because COVID hit, and
Yeah.
my family honestly is here. My grandma's here, mom is here, dad is here.
Oh,
Uh,
I've met your mom. She's beautiful. She looks like she's old enough to be your sister.
yeah, thank you. My wife is from Florida, so
Taylor.
yeah. So when they time off, we spend in Ocala in the farm. But I want to go back to Puerto Rico, but it's not the right time yet. Gotta wait until COVID slow down
Yeah.
more. It is there. I don't keep up with the news, but uh, yeah. Whenever I go back home, I wanna go for 7 to 10 days. So I just
But
I,
Taylor, oh, sorry, go ahead.
it's not good to go for only 2 3 days. There's a lot of stuff to.
No. And it must be beautiful, San Juan, the culture, the food, the architecture.
Yeah, the food is the best.
And how much of it can you enjoy?
Well, I kind of enjoy it. Only thing I had to lose a little bit of weight when I get back, but I make sure I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard for me. I could never be a jockey because just the regimen you guys have to put on, from the fitness perspective, the dietary restrictions, all of it. I can't give up my pasta.
Yeah, I don't give up much. I just try
Oh,
to eat.
you got a fast metabolism.
Yeah, but I eat everything, but the portion gotta be so
Yeah.
slow down.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah, moderation, but I eat pretty much everything. Yeah, especially when my mom is like now, we eat a lot.
Ah, right? Yeah, I got to get some of Mama's home cooking. Now, Taylor was a jockey too before she retired, and now you have two babies. You've got Leilani and you have Derek. Uh,
She
what?
do she's 3 days. The third one.
Oh my gosh! Well, do we know if boy or girl?
No, we don't know. We don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be a surprise. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, happy early birthday to the baby. My daughter, she's gonna be 3 on the 17th. So I'm excited about that. Maybe she'll have a shared birthday.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe.
you actually share a birthday with my mom, October 2nd.
Yeah,
So
cool.
great people are born on October 2nd, apparently. But so let's also talk about it does, you obviously met, over the course of your profession. From, Matt and I, we're both analysts. We both handicap races, and we'll discuss races sometimes. He doesn't sway me from my picks. I don't sway him necessarily from his, but sometimes we'll talk about when we like things similarly. Is that any way still something that you two share? Does she say, hey, you're riding that horse, I think maybe, I watched the replay and maybe if you did this differently?
No, Taylor is completely disconnect from.
Okay.
Sometimes I win 4 races in a day, and I get home, I don't even get a congratulations, or
What?
I'm like, hey, I win 4 today, and she's really, oh, what a good day, congratulations. I mean, she's busy with the kids, and
Oh my
they go to
goodness. Well,
school. I
how
mean,
was it in the
sometimes she doesn't.
Well, how was it in the beginning? Because I would imagine even though you understand the profession, you did the profession yourself, you understand also how dangerous it is. And I mean, just I personally, if Matt were a jockey, which that obviously could never ever happen for physical reasons, but if he were, I don't know that I'd be able to watch.
Yeah,
So
but I think it helps a lot that she wrote. She know the game. She know the danger we in it. Come here, and look, the man everybody's looking for is right here. I read.
hi,
Hi.
how are
You
you
can see it.
doing? He can jump in too.
Yeah, good,
Let's
good.
make it a family affair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it helps a lot that she wrote because she understands the game and it's much easier for me. Even when I have accidents and stuff, she keep calm because she knows what it is like and she's been there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a plus for me.
No, I would think that there's a fun sense of not only is this your spouse, but you've got that type of camaraderie with them where they, like you just said, they understand you from your professional perspective. Getting back to this weekend, one of the horses you rode, and I'm going to show Letruska in a minute, but before I do that, one of the horses you rode, who I was just so impressed with the closing kick, was obligatory in the Acorn Stakes. I knew she would be coming off it. I didn't expect her to close this fast. It was super impressive. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Let's see here. The 2021 Acorn Stakes. And let me just turn the audio down a little bit. So
The soft early 24 kill me.
that's the
24.
thing. That's the thing. I didn't know that you were going to have enough pace and she still came closing.
I tried to keep her as close as I could, but when they started running around the half of my pole going to the triple, it was very hard to keep up for me. It was very hard to keep up and keep up the momentum. But she keep I keep her nice and composed, and finally she gave me that big run by the 316 pole.
Yeah, how hard is it to keep a horse when they're running at the back of the pack to keep them engaged and not get them and them not be demoralized that they're trailing?
Man, with the fillies, this is a young horse, a young filly, so I just don't wanna overdo it with my whip. Like I just want her to get her engaged without
Finesse her.
doing exactly with finesse. And but right here, you see, I hit it one time, and she kind of responded well, but her best response was right here when she switched to the right lead. I hit it left-handed. She really gave me a beautiful kick, and I thought I had a shot to win passing the 8 pole, but I knew it was gonna take a big run. She did it, but it wasn't good enough.
This was amazing, that just the way you nearly got there after, as you said, just that soft opening quarter. And, and I always thought, I mean, Search Results obviously is a really talented filly, but the one vulnerability that she keeps showing time and time again is she does not switch her lead consistently in stretch. And so I'll admit, I bet against her, thinking that would, be her undoing there, and she could get caught. And she nearly lost because of that, because you came flying. She's still on that wrong lead. How hard is it to get a horse to switch leads in stretch?
Well, when you have a horse like Search Result that she do it regularly, it's very hard because it's on their heads, and you have to kind of trick them. I think she get along really good with Iron. She run a huge race on the Kentucky Oaks where she
She
switched
did switch
leads.
there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think when she switched leads, she's a much better horse. She her stride is much better, it's much longer, and I mean I think you have to have the good hands and do the right thing to make her switch. You gotta trick her a little bit. What I do with
Yeah.
those kind of horses when I enter in the stretch, going to the stretch, I just try to open up one path to the outside and then come back to the inside. So they give me
Oh.
the right hand, the right hand. But sometimes when those it's a horse like that that got it on the head, sometimes it's hard to get him to switch. But other thing you should do is hit him left-handed all the time. You hit him left-handed, you kind of pushing them to give you the right lead in front. So that's some stuff that you gotta look at the replays and put it in practice in the race.
Yeah, so important. So now let's talk about Letruska, who again she won birth into the Breeders' Cup Longines Distaff, winning the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps. And what a performance that she put in, because she just looked so dominant out there the entire time.
Yeah.
And going into the start, let's see here. She never looked tired, even though you took it to him from the jump. When
Yeah,
do you know? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
she looked very good right here. She's traveling nicely and she's relaxed. It was the main thing for me to make her relax. And the plan was to make the other filly chase me. That was the plan, and it worked.
And well, and that's the thing. It's such chess playing, because you have a horse that has speed. You have to be confident that she can carry it the whole way, and you're playing the game of catch me if you can. How confident? When do you know you're confident enough as you're hitting the top of the stretch that you've got more in the tank to finish?
Well, you can see right there, passing the half of my pole, I let it go. You can see my hand down, loose rein. Right here, I'm gonna take a peek back, make sure where she is. And when I see her 2 lengths behind me, it was a smile on my face right there. I knew it was
Yeah.
getting hard because she was traveling so nice, and I haven't asked for anything. I'm gonna take another peek back, big smile on my face, 3 lengths in front. I knew I was home here. Yeah,
And she just
great
looked
job.
happy.
Yeah, she was ready. She was happy. Great instructions. They told me play catch me if you can, and that's what I did.
And you're just out there, and adios amigos. She is a really cool, classy horse. 14 wins from 19 starts. Um, and the Ogden Pips for you actually almost you lost with Skydiver, but you got Letruska.
Yeah, I gotta
I
thank
mean,
my
I know the way it happened wasn't
yeah, and
great, but
he had the choice to pick the rider too. He's very close with the trainer, and I mean he picked me because
Fausto
I'm
Gutierrez,
yeah. So
St. George Stable, congratulations to them too. Uh, when she
right,
finished, she still looked really big and full of herself. Did she feel good after you crossed the wire?
yeah, she felt good. She will be
Well,
a serious player on the divisions from now on.
well, that's exciting. Now, I mean, not to get into the particulars, but do you know how when this happens, when there's a jockey who's been assigned a rider, whether it's your brother or anybody, and something happens, they can't ride the horse. Is there talk of, okay, well, now next race is it go back? I mean, we discussed, for example, with WIT and whatnot. Is that something that you guys have already discussed, or is it something that you both just know that the trainer is going to ultimately make the decision either way, and you're both fine with that? How does
Yeah,
that all work?
no, I think with the connections of every 4 horses that I rode and won, uh, I think Letruska is gonna go back to Irad no matter what. I think WIT is gonna go back to Irad based on the relationship he had with Todd and Mike Ripoli. He's been writing everything for them. I just picked Todd them out. I'm happy they gave me the opportunity to get in such a cool horse. But you never know what can happen in the future. But I think they're gonna go back to him. Firenze Fire. He's been riding the horse forever.
Yeah.
Drain the clock. He's been riding the horse too. I mean, I'm just just happy they give me the opportunity,
Yeah.
and whatever happened down the lane, I already know the horses and I'll be there.
No, that's
But
nice too.
that's them. That's up to them. If somebody keep me on them, I mean, it is what it is. But in this particular case, I think they're gonna go back to them.
Mhm. Well, was he rooting you? I'm sure he was rooting you on from home, but what was it like for him watching from home? Did he tell you how he did it? Was he sitting with his family or
No, yeah, it was home watching the races, playing the game, PlayStation while he plays,
he's playing PlayStation?
and he was texting me between races. He every time I go down, he was there. He was texting me, and
Was he giving some key insight into these horses?
yeah, he did. To all of them, I get a good insight, and honestly, he was right on cue. Everything he said, that's everything he happened.
Well, I think it's just so impressive, just the methodology, methodical way in which you approach these races, and you really map it out, and just all the different variables that have to be running through a rider's head, from the pace scenario. How fast are you going? Are you leaving this horse enough in the tank? Is the horse behaving properly? How many pockets, and is a pocket opening up? Do you have to it's just mind-blowing, on top of just the physical condition you have to keep yourselves in. The mental acumen is just off the charts. What is a regular day for you like in getting prepared in terms of the physicality? Because just going over the mental, that's enough, but how do you keep yourself from getting tired and fatigued mentally, and while still keeping your physical condition up?
Yeah, I'm so fit. I work a lot of horses in the morning, a lot of horses in the afternoon, and honestly, when I hit that 4 horses mark, like I ride 4 horses, I'm hot. I can ride 20.
Wow.
I can. Don't stop me. Just let me go. Sometimes you got those kind of days that you ride one on the first, one on the fifth, then you ride 7 and 8. Those days are more slow and
Mhm.
tiring than when you ride 10, 11 in a row. I like that better.
You like getting in the groove, getting into the rhythm.
You get in a good rhythm, and for some reason, every time I ride that many horses, I have good day. And when the horse is not winning, they're running well. They're running well, and you get a great feel of the track, and it's great.
Well, some fun questions for you. I mean, I mentioned that you ran second in the Belmont aboard Gronkowski. Did you meet his namesake? Did you meet Gronk?
Yeah, he was here that
Yeah.
day, and yes, I met him. I met him that day. Yeah.
I asked Todd because he said that he had, because we were talking about the Derby, and I was mentioning how Tom Brady was there, and so that got on the conversation of football players. He said he'd like to meet Gronk, so I guess he didn't meet him while y'all were there. But
I guess no. Yeah.
but then uh, the other thing that I find interesting, that it's, for me, looking at your past performances, and also I do want to mention, I mean, just the immediate success you seems that you had. I mean, you're only 27 years old, right?
Yes.
Okay, so already in 2017, outstanding jockey Eclipse Award winner. And you've had the success, and you've won a classic race, and you're a 3-time Breeders' Cup champ, and again with juveniles. What for you personally? I already asked you what you think a good rider, how a great rider is separated from a capable rider. But for you, also having the Breeders' Cup success, in particular with the young horses, the horses that we hope to see on Future Stars Friday, for example, um, what do you think that is? Have you always had, I guess, basically this connection with horses? Because I think to ride a young horse in particular, you have to have that undefined quality that keys into a horse. It's just something. Some people are dog people, some people are cat people, and then there are people who are horse people. And you must be a horse person, I feel like, to have that type of success with young horses in race day situations where the pressure is just on.
Yeah, I like young horses. Honestly, every time I go to a barn, I just want to get on 2 year olds because they will be the future, and and you know when they can run. And sometimes I get on some that I don't ride, but if I ride somebody else, I know who I have to worry about because I work them in the morning. So I think the key for them babies is try to give them confidence and keep them relaxed.
Yeah. Well, and that's so key because I really do feel you mentioned it before earlier in the conversation that horses do feel your energy and they feed off that. And I think jockeys like Manny, for example, he has a ton of success with young horses on the New York circuit, and it's a matter of the confidence because I think some people they not knowing what a young horse is going to do because oftentimes they're a little crazy because it's just all new to them still. They are babies, mentally juveniles.
Just green, yeah, green.
Yeah, and I think sometimes subconsciously, if that's in the back of a rider's mind, it can lead them to not give as confident a ride. And I feel like people like you and again, Manny, you guys go out there and you ride them as if you were riding a grade 1 animal.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. A lot of guys on the gate, sometimes they move, and because they 2-year-old, they get a little more, But most of the 2 years I get on, I take them to the gates. Right, I love for Chad, Todd, and Shug, McGahey,
Yeah.
and we do most of the gate works, which is great because I know the horses. When you worry, I mean, I guess you have to worry a little bit when you ride one that you don't know. You never seen him before, and you just ride him. You don't know him, especially in the post parade. They are a little spooky. Then you're
Yeah.
gonna be, you're gonna be more careful, of course. Yeah.
Well, I always look forward to Saratoga because that's where I think all the horses that you need to really keep an eye out on start to show their qualities. So we're gonna, like you said, hopefully see WIT run at the Saratoga meet. We'll see a lot of other 2-year-olds debuting there at the Saratoga meet. And as you just said, a horse you've never been on before. That's something else I would love to just stress to anybody watching because people outside of racing, people out of equestrian sports, people have never touched a horse before. Understand it's hard enough when you're an equestrian and you show a horse and you work with that horse day in, day out to get them ready to show in a ring or a jumper arena. Let alone you guys are getting up oftentimes on horses you've never even been on before, never seen before, day of, and you're entrusting that horse with your life out there.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
you have to look at the replays, and what I like to do with a horse like that is give it a good warm up without the pony. Get to know him better without the pony. If I can, if the trainer tell me that I can, I love to do it because I get to know him a lot better that way. Other than that, just gotta watch just the replays and see. Try to catch something on the replay that he likes or something that he don't like.
How quick can you suss out if a horse has a little bit of quirks when you're out there in the warm up?
Pretty quick, yeah.
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 Because I know some horse. I mean, back when I used to show, you could get and horses also. Everybody, I think this is something else. Sometimes even with handicappers, they think the horses are machines, and what you see in the PPs is how they're going to come out, how they're going to run day, from race to race. But these horses, just like people, they can have grouchy days where they're just not feeling it for whatever reason. But that's part of the benefit when you do get a horse that you get to ride consistently, right?
Yeah, some horses they don't feel well some days.
Yeah.
And they don't run their A game. But when you ride a horse consistently, it's more easy to find out if something is wrong with them. Like
Yeah.
it's easy, yeah. Usually
Well,
they pretty when you get on them 3, 4, 5 times, you know the horse like the palm of your hand. So it's pretty easy to see if if something is wrong with them in the post parade.
yeah. No, definitely. And one of those horses that you had a really great relationship was a late. Where do you have a favorite horse you've ridden, or do you not say because every horse is special to you in some way that's taken you to the winner's circle? Or Is there even sometimes I think a race that stands out, not necessarily a horse, but a race, and sometimes it's not even a graded stakes race. Sometimes it's a minor race that just for whatever reason somebody has a connection with, whether they're the jockey like you or the owner or whatnot. Is there anything like that that stands out for you, whether it's a horse, whether it's a race?
It's a lot.
I mean, the Belmont's pretty awesome, but
but it's a lot of horses that stand out in my career. But LA was one of the best, one of my favorites for sure. She's on the top of the list. She was so cool from day
yeah.
one. Very classy mare. She was a classy filly as a 3-year-old. She turned 4. She got bigger and she just improved. And she every time she stepped on the track, she gave me her A game. I mean, it was cool horse to be on him. She was so big and so powerful. I mean, I love her. I
Yeah.
wish turn the tables on Abel Tasman, Saratoga. I think it was Abel Tasman
Yeah,
or
I think what let me see
Min
here.
Midnight Bisu, Abel Tasman. But yeah, I wish we could have turned the tables on.
Yeah,
It
well,
was big races
I was
by
well,
enough.
I was the other thing that I was going to say regarding just some of these big races and whatnot is it seems to me part of the equation that's brought you success is not only being paired with great horses like Elate, but also just like just speaking with you over the course of the conversation, the repeated sense that you always keep your cool. You keep your cool, whether it's this interview, you keep your cool on the horse. That gives the horse the ability to extend themselves to their uttermost because they're not feeling that nervous energy on their back. Um, Another great horse you've ridden in relation to a great female is Serengeti Empress. And we all adore her and the acceleration that horse. I mean, she's blistering. She was a blistering fast horse.
Yeah, she's a great mare. Had the opportunity to ride her in the Kentucky Oaks.
Yes.
Very fast, and we were able to go wire to wire. Uh, After that, I mean, Saya has been her regular rider, but I love her. She's really quick. She eventually cut back to sprint. I think
Yeah.
that's her A game. Against the 4-year-olds, I think they have to do that, and they did, and it has worked out great for them, and I'm very happy for them. At the end of the day, we get a huge win in the Oaks, and I'm happy
Yeah.
that I was on her that day. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of her. She's such a cool horse. She always tried to.
Same. And I think that she's in full to, I might be wrong here, but I think she's in full to into mischief. So that horse is going to be fire from underneath their feet, I think. But yeah. And so, yeah, it's just great. And these stories come up late, like you were saying, turning the tables, hopefully like on Midnight Bizu. But sometimes I do love that they were so game in putting her in the classic. And so, gosh, I don't want to monopolize your time, but I do want to ask this question, and then I'm gonna mention another horse to wrap things up with you. But when you put a female, because they do this all the time in Europe, they run the females against the boys all the time. But here in America, obviously, it's more of a anomaly. Swiss Skydiver beating Authentic in the Preakness is exciting. We've seen Rachel's of the world, the Zenyatta's of the world. What do you think? Do you feel that there's a different energy when a mare is in the mix?
Yeah, you can feel the cameras and everybody's talking about her going. And I think the reason why she went in the classic was because the distance. She was
Yep.
we thought it was better a mile and a quarter than mile and 8, and I think she was better. But I mean the boys are tough. It's tough every time to beat the boys. Especially
Well,
a mile and a quarter. I mean, I like Phillies going into the boys 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs that you get weight advantage and you can use your speed if you fast. But when you go mile and a quarter, it's a whole different game. It take a really nice filly to beat the boys, and I think she was good enough. But I mean, Santa Anita track was speedy favorite, and maybe if we could beat the boys, I think it would be here at Belmont, something like that. I think it was her best races were in New York.
Well, fourth in the classic is not bad. Do you think the male horses take note when there's a girl there? Can they smell her? Do you think it gets them a little distracted?
No, I didn't. I haven't had that experience.
Okay. I've seen it happen before, but I just wonder. Like I said, they do it in Europe all the time, but there are cases where there are some males that can get a little distracted, in
Some
post parade. Huh?
with some males that get distracted with the pony boy with boys.
Yes.
Yeah, when they
Yeah.
like that is tough.
It's like, get your mind back to business. But yeah, you've been so great with your time. I just wanted to bring up one more horse because I think this horse has a pretty unique soft spot in your, we've made a soft spot in your heart. And I am talking about Sandy's Slew. And you actually rode Sandy's Slew for Jeremiah Englehart, James Riccio, and you won the Troy handicap with him, but crossing the wire, you sensed something was not right. And you hurried up and you got off and you took off your saddle and you waited for the vets to come and check the horse out. And now you have him at your farm in Ocala. So first of all, I mean, kudos to you. God bless you for being able to be such a, capable rider that you understood something was wrong with your horse and the action then you took to ensure the horse's best, best prognosis to come out of this okay. But just the whole connection to him and understanding what was going on. How quick was it to register with you?
That's quick. I knew when I pulled him off, he was off completely. It wasn't just a little bit. He was off. I mean, I did what I was supposed to do. I got off him,
Yeah.
take my tag off, take his blinkers off, and wait for the bet. And then, so everybody know, he was owned by my agent's dad. That's the reason I got him, and he was a 8-year-old gelding. So it's not much that you can do with a gelding of that age, other than jumpers. But he was hurt. I
Yeah.
tried I talked to the vet to see if I could send him to somebody to teach him to jump and stuff, but he said he won't make it. He won't make it because he's gonna put a lot of pressure on his ankle, and
Yeah.
so he's just living life. I ride him every time I go to the farm, and he's such a cool horse to ride. Just a pony. I can go right now. I haven't ride him for 6 months. I go there, put the tag on him, and he won't jump. He won't do anything.
And
That's
there
it.
he is with your daughter aboard.
I put the kids on him.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I can do anything. Such a
Oh
cool
my
horse.
gosh. So he's at your farm in Ocala. And when we say your farm, when you bought your farm there in Ocala, or do you want to expand what you're doing from just the riding, or are you already doing that? Do you want to breed horses yourself, or?
Yeah, I like. My mother-in-law bred Speech and bred Medina Spirit.
Yeah.
They and now she has Speech brother on the farm. He grew up there.
Oh,
He was raised there. I think Medina Spirit was born in Kevin farm. Yeah, he was born in Kevin, but I don't know if she took him there to raise him at my farm. I'm not sure, but I know Speech little brother was raised there. Uh,
oh.
yeah, I like horse racing, and I would love to get a way to keep doing it, breeding, in training, and whatever.
You just love
Taylor,
all of it.
yeah, Taylor is come from a family that they all horsemen, and
Yeah.
I guess later on I can get her more involved, either with training or breeding or something like that. The kids will be bigger. I think she will love to get back to the sport somehow, and I mean, she's been galloping and stuff like that. But now she's pregnant again. So
And we are so looking forward to the birth of that future star. That's so exciting. You need to keep us all posted, okay?
I will.
Oh gosh, Jose, I want to thank you for all your time. And much love to you and the whole family. Irad, Taylor, Leilani, Derek, and little baby to come. If you have names picked out yet, I don't know, but I'm sure you'll come up with a great one.
And we have no names, and we are like 5 days away, so we gotta.
Oh goodness. Well, I'm sure whatever you go with will be bestowed. The name will be bestowed with love, and it's just so exciting to bring a new one into the family and talk about pedigree, because we talk about with horses, you definitely have it there with your family. And again, we are so thankful for your time, and wishing you success going forward as well, especially heading into Saratoga, which, by the way, this gentleman says Saratoga around the corner. I guess you have to answer that question before I let you go. Are you doing push-ups still? I would imagine you are.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, again, best in everything going forward, and I'm looking forward to the birth of, again, a new future star here in horse racing. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
You have a great one.
You too.
Everybody, this has been your Future Stars Friday forecast on a 2-year-old Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to tune back in next week when I barring any unforeseen circumstances, I believe I will have as my special guest, Brad Cox. All right, everybody. Talk to you later. I'm Ren Carruthers.